It's hard not to get a little emotional as you see video images of the USMC Comfort, the Navy hospital ship, arriving in the port of New York City as we speak. It was expected to take a few weeks. It takes a lot to equip this hospital ship with all the things it needs. The way the president worded it, it's loaded to the gills. It has an on-ship pharmacy. They have 12 operating rooms, 1,000 hospital beds, and this big, beautiful ship is now entering the New York harbor, soon to dock. It should be operational tomorrow. As I understand it, this will be used to alleviate the COVID-19 patients who are being treated. This will not be a hospital that treats COVID-19 patients. As I understand it, this will be for people who need hospitalization, and they will be out of the COVID-19 hospitals and get operations and treatment for other things. Of course, that's the other huge concern, particularly in New York, is that hospitals still have to go on, and there are still lots of people who need treatment. Welcome in. It is Monday, another week. We're in the final 2 days of March, and as you heard, the president has extended the CDC social distancing guidelines and staying at home for at least another month. We're going through this through the end of April. For many people, that feels like a punch to the gut. I know a lot of people who are now beginning to be deeply worried about how they're going to manage this with, in many cases, no income. The checks are expected to start arriving in about two to 3 weeks, as I understand it. There is lots of bad news right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm as apprehensive as anybody. I am prayerful. I am worried, sick for everybody who's going through this. My heart is heavy with stories of people dying in isolation with their loved ones on the other side of a glass window, not being able to touch them, to hold them, to be with them. There are heartbreaking stories of people from all walks of life, actors and physicians and academics and body shop, auto shop mechanic owners and beloved people who are losing their fight. 740,000 cases now confirmed around the world, 35,000 deaths worldwide. In the United States, 2,513 deaths, 143,527 total confirmed cases here in the United States. Let's look at some good news. In Seattle, home of the first known coronavirus case in the country, and this was, of course, where 37 of its first victims were taken, and that was, of course, largely in a nursing home in the Seattle area. They're now seeing evidence that the strict containment strategies are beginning to pay off. According to the New York Times, deaths are not rising as fast as they are in other states. Hospitals have so far not been overwhelmed in Seattle, and preliminary statistical models provided to public officials in Washington state suggest that the spread of the virus has slowed in Seattle in recent days. While each infected person was spreading the virus to an average of 2.7 other people earlier in March, that number appears to have dropped, with one projection suggesting it was down to 1.4. Here's the president's announcement, cut number 9 from the Rose Garden, a pretty contentious press briefing where he was mixing it up with Yamiche Alexor and other reporters who were, going at him and badgering him, and he, of course, goes right back at him. He punches back pretty hard. Lost with the contentiousness were a whole lot of important messages that the president delivered. Of course, here is perhaps the biggest one. Again, cut number 9.
The better you do, the faster this whole nightmare will end. Therefore, we will be extending our guidelines to April 30th to slow the spread.
The president went on to say that maybe June 1st is a date. He retreated from his wish, and it was a wish. It was, as he put it, aspirational that we could start to see some semblance of normalcy by Easter Sunday. That's not going to happen. A lot of people sort of chalk that off to wishful thinking. Listen, let's not have a shortage of wishful thinking and optimism. Heaven forbid we have a little hope. But obviously, April Sunday or Easter Sunday isn't gonna make it. We're not going to be there by then. He went on to say that June 1st, which of course would mean a repeat of a month-long extension that we're seeing now, June 1st could be the date that we start to be on our road to recovery. Here's cut number 10 from the president's Rose Garden press conference last night.
We can expect that by June 1st, we will be well on our way to recovery. We think by June 1st, a lot of great things will be happening. I want every citizen in our country to take heart and confidence in the fact that we have the best medical minds in the world tackling this disease. We have the best science, the best researchers, and the best talent anywhere working night and day to protect your family and loved ones and to overcome this pandemic.
You know, I had a little pep talk given to me by my producer this morning because we're all, getting down and we're all anxious and worried and frazzled. And Lance Anderson, my producer, has read a lot of stuff about the training of the Navy SEALs, some of the most intense, extreme training in the world. And a lot of these young SEALs, they get near the breaking point and they are instructed, stop worrying about the rest of the month, stop worrying about the rest of the week, stop thinking about 6 weeks or 8 weeks down the road. Worry about today. Keep today in front of you. In many ways, it's sort of like the message from Alcoholics Anonymous. One day at a time. Keep the day one day. Let's just keep today in front of us, get through today, and then we will get through tomorrow, and so on and so on. And it's probably good advice at a big challenging time like this. As always, we love to be connected and stay connected to you. I'd love to hear your voice as we welcome you back into my kitchen here in the ReliefFactor.com mobile studios. It's 15 past the hour on this Monday, March the 30th, 2020. I hope you join us. 1-800-655-MIKE. If you have questions, if you have observations, there's a lot of political contentiousness right now, and it feels like with this bad news, it was like it ebbed for a while. It was like sort of on the back burner. We weren't at each other's throats so much, unless, of course, you make the mistake of taking a look at Twitter or social media. But it did feel a little more unified last week. Then with this announcement, we're looking at least another month. People are getting angrier. They're looking for blame. They want a scapegoat. And I just hope we don't slip back into butting heads. As I've said over and over again, this virus doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat.